It's Wally World, and Wally World has some great things, but they also have some things that probably should be careful of, especially in the keto world. Now, it's splitting hairs with a lot of ingredients, but when we go into Walmart, I'll be able to point out the things that you should avoid. Now, I am not saying don't shop at Walmart. Walmart has tremendous keto items if you're after them, but I want to be able to pinpoint exactly what we should be looking out for so you know what sort of imposter keto items there are. Because it's not Walmart's fault. A lot of it is more so these brands that kind of manipulate and make it sound like it's a keto-friendly product, when in reality, it's got some things that aren't so good. Because remember, keto is all about trying to just, well, get your body to run an alternative fuel source. And if you're giving yourself a bunch of just random garbage, it's kind of defeating that purpose. So let's head on in. One of the first things I want you to be careful of is going to be a rotisserie chicken, okay? Now, some rotisserie chickens are halfway decent, but most of the grocery store ones you're gonna get, Walmart or not, you just gotta be careful. Let me show you what's in this. Okay, so we have chicken without necks and giblets, water, salt, maltodextrin, yeast extract, sugar, dried garlic, dehydrated chicken broth, chicken fat, natural flavors, rubbed with salt, cornstarch, dried chicken broth. It's not as bad as I would have thought, but I do not like seeing a bunch of maltodextrin that high up. Maltodextrin, if it's down low on the ingredient list, is okay, but when it's up high on the list, that means that they're using it, they're basically pumping the chicken full of it to make it seem more moist and more voluptuous. So please just be careful of that. Now that goes for any rotisserie chicken. I will say that Sprouts usually has really good ones because you can get them unseasoned, which is great. So it's like no salt, and that way if you want to add seasoning to it, you can, and it makes it perfect. Now, again, I don't want to pick on Walmart because almost all rotisserie chickens are like that, even your Costco ones. Now today I want to focus mainly on things that are marketed as keto so that I'm not like just, I guess I should really focus on things that are labeled as keto, and that way I can tell you if they're really just misleading us or not. So let's kind of stick to that as much as we can. Here's something that I think is important to bring up. Now this isn't necessarily marketed as keto, but I mean, obviously it's very much a keto food. It's the Jimmy Dean Delights Egg Witch. Okay, now it is basically sausage patty in between two pieces of egg, which if you made it from scratch would be a tremendous keto food, but we gotta take a look at this. Okay, so Jimmy Dean Delights Egg Witch. Look at the list of ingredients on there. So the frittata is whole egg, whole milk, ham, water added to the ham. We have dextrose, sodium phosphates. Okay, remember with sodium phosphate, it increases our serum phosphate level. So that can cause inflexibility to our arteries and our veins. We just want to be careful with that. But even worse, we have sodium erythorbate and sodium nitrites. Soybean oil, which is just about, if it has soybean oil, run the other direction. Just, there's no reason to have it on keto, okay? Red bell peppers, good. Portobello mushrooms, great. Modified food starch, I can live with. Bacon, which is totally fine, but look at sodium phosphates again, sodium erythorbate, sodium nitrite. Okay, so we have quite a bit of these sodium phosphates in there, and that's also going to chelate minerals. So there's a lot of ingredients in here that aren't so good. Plus, why are they adding sugar to it? But that's also just in the bacon. Fully cooked turkey sausage, which is mechanically separated turkey, extruded. It like looks like it's Play-Doh. It's like pink. 2% of less citric acid. Pasteurized processed American cheese, so it's not even real cheese. So I just want you to be careful with something like this. Okay, there are a lot of other options. Go get an egg bite from Costco, or even an egg bite from Starbucks is probably cleaner than this. So I love that they're doing this and are making a good move, but Costco has a brand that are a lot cleaner. They're still not perfect, but they're cleaner than this. Okay, I gotta call this out a little bit. We got the Atkins brand here, which they have a bacon scramble for breakfast. And I just pulled one out. I feel bad saying this because the Atkins brand was like one of the OGs, right? And who knows what's gone on, but I'm careful, I don't want to throw them under the bus. I just want to show you some ingredients that you probably need to be careful of a little bit. Okay, so this is a bacon scramble. Anytime you see bacon, you're going to probably see a lot of ingredients, but here we have cooked scrambled eggs, which whole eggs, skim milk, soybean oil, there it is again, cornstarch, xanthan gum. Then we have the cheddar cheese, which actually looks halfway decent. And then we have the bacon that has sodium phosphate, sodium erythorbate, sodium nitrite. Onions, half and half, that's all fine. Milk cheese, water, dry cream, milk fat, more sodium phosphate. Okay, and then we get to paprika, club cheese. It's not as bad as I thought, but when you get into like the modified food starch, you get to canola oil, cheese flavoring, yeast extracts, disodium phosphate, yeast extract again. So a lot of just yeast extracty things. I think, honestly, if it wasn't for the canola oil, the sodium phosphates, super prevalent, the nitrites, and the canola oil, I would be okay with this. And I understand, it's difficult. But let's take a look at let's look at this Mongolian style beef really quick. This one is cauliflower. That's a good first ingredient. Cooked seasoned beef and modified food starch product. Beef, water, modified food starch, salt, natural flavor, spice, green bell peppers, water, soy sauce, water, wheat. Okay, if you're doing keto, keep the gluten out of the equation. So I see the wheat and I stopped right there. Doesn't mean the brand is bad. No, I'm telling you as Thomas, avoid the gluten, please. Okay, now I'm gonna get into like the pantry stuff and everything like that. I just wanna say, right out the gate, like for most of my pantry staples, I usually order them through Thrive Market. So I put a link down below. So Thrive Market's an online membership-based grocery store. So they are a great place where you can just order your groceries online. They get delivered to your doorstep. They're a big supporter, big sponsor on this channel, which is tremendously appreciated. Helps me out, helps this channel out, but also helps my viewers out because they get tremendous deals. So if you use that link below and you want to get your keto goodies and your keto pantry staples and your keto groceries from Thrive, you can save 25% off your first order and also get a free gift using that link down below. So everything gets delivered to your doorstep. Okay, you don't have to go to the store, saves you a ton of time that way, but then you get this awesome box with a bunch of goodies in it and you choose what you want and then you can alter it, change it up, whatever. It's just, it makes life so easy and it is the way of the future, and Thrive Market has a huge head start. So check them out. There is a link down below in the description. Okay, I just found a keto bread at Walmart. These are always interesting. Okay, this one is from a brand called Extraordinary Bites. Let's take a look. This is what it looks like. So it's 1 net carb. Okay, they're using resistant wheat starch. Okay, so it's still wheat, and then they have wheat gluten, straight up wheat gluten. Because basically what they do is they extrapolate it and they make it sort of so that it's resistant, meaning we're not digesting it, but we're still running into an issue where our body is having the potential zonulin release from it. It's not about the digestion of gluten, it's more about how it affects the downstream effects within our body. Okay, so then we also have soy oil, which I don't like, but at least it's not hydrogenated. Wheat protein isolate, again, lots of wheat in this sucker. Yeast vinegar. It's not as bad as the Frank's one from Costco. It's not as bad. That's probably why it's in the frozen section, because they're using soy oil instead of hydrogenated. So it's definitely not a Thomas approved, not in the slightest, but Costco's one is worse because Costco's one uses hydrogenated to keep it shelf stable, whereas this one uses non-hydrogenated soy oil. Still a cruddy oil, but that's why it's in the frozen section. Just found another Real Good Foods. Let's see, this one's much better looking. Check it out. Chicken Alfredo sauce. This one's better. Filling chicken with rib meat, ricotta cheese. Let's see, we've got, this one looks much better. Salt, I don't see any weird oils in there. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I'm used to seeing. This is much more, I think that's Thomas approved food, but we're not focusing on approved stuff. Well, actually, let's look at one more. Real Good Italian, what is this? Spinach, ricotta cheese, what's in this one? Ooh, I see sunflower oil. I'll take sunflower oil over soybean. Heck yes, much better, but still not great. So this one, not as good as that Alfredo one, but better than the other one I saw. Now I want to take real quick a look at this Happy Food Company. They have some stuff that's good, some that's questionable. Let's take a look at this one. This is the sausage and rice cauliflower hemp seed breakfast bowl. So we have cauliflower and hemp grits. Is this plant-based? No, it's got sausage. Let's see, cheese blend made from parched skim milk. That's all good. Whey solids milk. Heavy cream, used to that. Ooh, carrageenan, not too happy about that. Polysorbate 80. Oh man, why do we have polysorbates in there? And then the scrambled eggs are whole eggs, non-fat milk, soybean oil, modified food starch, salt. Nope. Okay, I would not recommend that product. It's not necessarily marketed as keto, but it is marketed as lower carb with 8 net carbs. So I'm going to consider that something that I'd look at. Walmart does have an impressive canned fish section. I'm not going to lie here. If you're going to get anything, well, actually, this is a great one. Sardine. This is like one of the only brands, sardines and olive oil, that I trust, as well as Wild Planet. But Wild Planet here has their sardines in water. Awesome to see Walmart carrying that. If you're going to get this Tonino brand, is also good. They're using good quality olive oil. It does add a little bit more flavor. I just typically recommend getting your sardines, getting your tuna in water so that you're not having a bunch of added fats that are questionable. Remember, I cannot say this enough. You don't need to add fat on keto. Okay, yes, you need to keep your calories at a decent level so you don't crush your metabolism, but you don't need to just add fat bombs and add calories, okay? It's not going to help you, okay? You need to get to a certain point, but you don't need to just say, I need more fat to create ketones, so let me just load up on a bunch of olive oil. No, it's just hundreds of calories you don't need realistically. Lean into the protein more than anything. Just so that you guys do know, like, I know this video is like more of a negative connotation, but I do have videos that are like, almost all of them are more positive, like saying like, hey, here's what you should get. So make sure you check out my other Walmart videos if you're looking for more of that stuff. Here's an interesting thing I wanted to show you. I found a few things. These are nice little, look at MCT oil powder. Just a little moment of positivity. Look at avocado powder. Check that out. Okay, dried avocados and a little bit of a lemon powder. Oops, there you go. Dried Hass avocados and lemon powder. So find some really cool things like collagen peptides. So Walmart has some tremendous options when it comes down to like baking and everything like that. But you know, there's also things we have to be careful of, and I'll show you more. Just found a couple things that I want to check out I've never seen before. So this Divided Sunset keto-friendly flour. Let's see what's in this. Let's see, Divided Sunset, almond flour, coconut flour, golden flaxseed, oat fiber. Okay, oat fiber usually does not have gluten in it. You're usually good to go. Whey protein isolate, some xanthan gum. Whey protein isolate probably just, it increases the protein content. That's nice. Look at that. So 11 grams of carbs, 8 of which is fiber, no added sugar. That's a pretty cool product, actually. And then we have pure cauliflower powder. This is just cauliflower in this. I actually haven't seen this at any stores. Walmart's the first store I've seen that has pure cauliflower powder. Heck yeah, that is really cool. I'm happy to see that. So in an effort to like find negative things about Walmart here, I'm finding positive things. It makes me very, very happy. So this would be something that would be good. I actually might grab this. I'm gonna grab this. This could be interesting. Okay, so make no mistake, I talk about the benefits of flax all the time. Flax is great, but don't use flax oil. Okay, the benefit of flax is coming from the soluble fiber content, period. The oil, here's what's funny. People will use like flax oil and say it's high omega-3 oil. It's not. Okay, it's a smidget more omega-3 than some of these other oils. Hang on one second. It's a smidget more omega-3 than like some of these other vegetable oils, but it's still alpha linolenic acid, which has to convert into EPA, and it has less than a 1% conversion rate. So what that ultimately means is, even though they say it's omega-3, it's a cruddy kind of omega-3 that can't get used in the body like fish oil can. So you're not using flax for the oil, you're using flax for the fiber. So don't use flax oil. It's not a good keto solution. I always say if you're starting keto, if you're doing intermittent fasting, anything like that, it makes a big difference to add Mediterranean spices, sage, thyme, rosemary, okay? Because we have, again, those different acids. We have rosmarinic acid. We also have hispidulene. Hispidulene is a component that you're going to find in a lot of these herbs that can activate this PPAR alpha, which allows you to utilize fats more. So it's a receptor protein. It's called a nuclear receptor protein. So it sits inside the cell near the nucleus, and when it gets activated, it translocates into the nucleus and turns the cell into a different kind of cell that is good at using fat for fuel. So you're literally from the inside out conditioning a cell to use fat more by using rosemary and things like that. Anyway, that's some positive stuff. Now, okay, here we go. I just found something really interesting. Okay, Birch Benders now has keto frosting. That's kind of interesting. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, we have palm oil because it's more inexpensive, erythritol, coconut oil, cocoa, cassava starch to thicken it, vanilla extract, stevia extract. I mean, it's still calorically dense as heck. 2 tablespoons, 130 calories, but it's kind of nice to see that. I would recommend just making your own. Use some cream cheese, a little bit of stevia or a little bit of monk fruit, and then go ahead and just kind of, and a little heavy cream mixed into it. Let's try the vanilla one here. Palm oil once again. Okay, I mean, there's something, it's not bad. This isn't like an imposter product. I'm not upset with it, but I want to get something out in the open. Having tons and tons of palm oil and tons of saturated fats are just replacing calories that you could be consuming like other good quality fats like oleic acid, olive oil, avocado oil. Saturated fats, sure, okay? They are not necessarily bad, but they really shouldn't make up more than like 20% of your daily fat calories. So something like this, it adds up crazy fast because you get, 8 grams of saturated fat in 2 tablespoons. Well, where's the room for the good quality fats that actually have a positive impact on your lipid panel? So I just want you to be aware of that. Again, you're trying to live life, you're doing keto, by all means, enjoy some stuff now and then. Okay, so Duncan Hines has keto-friendly double chocolate cake in a cup. This one, ooh, this one has maltitol. Come on, where are you guys living? Yeah, no need to have a sugar alcohol like maltitol. Definitely a no-go. If you're gonna get Duncan Hines, get it in the box. What about Birch Benders? Cookie a la cup, almond flour, erythritol, high oleic sunflower oil. Here's something kind of interesting. Let me explain this whole high oleic thing. High oleic sunflower oil is really no different biochemically inside your body than regular sunflower oil. The difference with high oleic, although it makes it sound like it's good because oleic acid is good, high oleic just means that what they've done is they've concentrated it or altered it so it's more rich in oleic acid, making it more shelf stable. But studies have demonstrated that high oleic acid content, it doesn't change anything as far as the omega-6 profile, because oleic acid is a good fat. Like if you get oleic acid from avocado oil or from olive oil, it's very beneficial and has powerful effects in terms of brown fat activation. You get this whole effect of the oleic acid converting into oleoethanolamine, or OEA. That is powerful, but it doesn't mean that high oleic oils have more of that benefit. There's no additional benefit. So anyhow, it's not bad, but I would rather see high oleic sunflower oil than soybean oil. Let's take a look at this low-calorie syrup. Water, sorbitol, straight-up sugar alcohol. Let's avoid that. Cellulose gum, natural artificial flavors. Sodium benzoate, one of the worst preservatives you could have. So sodium benzoate actually affects our cells' ability to secrete leptin. Leptin is one of the most powerful satiety hormones that you have in your body. When your body is not producing leptin, you stop the signal to burn fat. You stop the signal to lose weight. You also stop the signal to stop being hungry. So if you stop leptin, you're hungry all the time. People that are very obese have leptin resistance, meaning their cells secrete leptin, but their brain doesn't receive the signal, which is why they still feel hungry and why they have trouble losing weight. A lot of times it's a leptin resistance issue. Now combine that with not producing leptin, you have a big problem. So sodium benzoate, no go, never. Okay, avoid it, be careful. It's gonna slip into little things now and then, just be careful. Finally, something specifically labeled keto. This is the Ratio Keto Friendly Bar. Let's take a look. Lemon Almond Crunch Bar. And here we have almonds, pumpkin seeds, soy protein isolate. Why soy? Coconut oil, erythritol, whey protein isolate. I mean, you're using whey protein isolate already. The soy protein isolate is clearly there to make it cheaper. Sea salt, lemon oil, natural flavor, stevia. Okay, no, I mean, I get it, but why? That's the protein you're using. Like, you already have whey in there. So I'm not saying don't get it 100%, but I am definitely saying there's something kind of nefarious going on there that I don't like. Delicious Wonderworks, and I've talked about this in another video, so I actually know a little bit about this one, but let's see what's in it. Milk protein concentrate, to be expected in a cereal, erythritol and allulose. I wish they just used allulose and not erythritol too. Just pick one or the other. Whey protein isolate, okay with that. Inulin, palm kernel oil, okay. Palm oil, soluble corn fiber, not terrible. But then all of a sudden we add the canola oil into the mix. Why? Soy lecithin, that's just an emulsifier. Not really worried about that. Natural flavor, stevia, really not bad. I just don't like the canola. So, you know what? If you want to have a little bit of keto cereal now and then, I think it'd be okay. But at least it's not using soybean oil. Let's give it that. So major props to them for not using that. But moderation. There's a lot of frankenfood stuff in there. Yeah, I want to touch on yogurts here for just a second. Anything specific keto here? Okay, we have Ratio Keto Friendly. Okay, let's take a look at this. So keto, big words here. Big letters, 2 grams of net carbs. Okay, we have pasteurized, ultra-filtered, non-fat milk, pasteurized milk, milk fat, avocado oil, natural flavor, salt, sucralose. Oh, no. Seriously? Why? Okay, you've got a really good product. You're using avocado oil as an additional fat. I mean, phenomenal. And then you use sucralose. Like, you come in there and you're right next to this brand, Too Good, which has 2 grams of sugar. This uses reduced fat milk, lemon juice concentrate, tapioca starch, skeleton gum, stevia leaf. I mean, okay, you're right next to a company that's using stevia. You have everything going for you. So I'm not going to throw them under the bus, because maybe they just have someone in the sweetener department or they're just going straight up for flavor. But I'm telling you, Ratio, so with your bar, you're missing the mark on one thing, and you would have been like a perfect Thomas approved food. On this yogurt, you're missing the mark with the sucralose. I know someone from that company is probably watching this video, or someone tell them to just switch it out to stevia, and I would buy a bucket of that product, a truckload. Anyway, that about wraps it up. I've covered just about everything here. There's a lot of good keto products here. I actually found less imposters here at Walmart than I did at Costco, which is pretty interesting. So if you have ideas for future videos, put them down below in the comment section. I'll see you tomorrow.